Hey there guys, I'm here today to talk to you about leeches again. My name is Tsetsi, and if you have any questions, always ask me and I'll make a video for your question. Alright, so let's get started. First of all, your leeches will probably arrive in the mail like this. Now, what is happening here is they are actually swimming in a leech gel. So it's like a hydrogel that they put them in to ship them to you. And they've been traveling probably about, who knows, maybe about a week or 10 days. And what they want to do is get out of this gel. So the first thing you want to do is get them out. So the way you do that is unscrew the cap and then dump the contents into a jar, just like this. And once you dump the contents, the leeches will fall out. Now sometimes they don't, just like this big one. It's just stuck in the bottle. So what you want to do is, if you can't get it out just by shaking the bottle, you might have to cut this bottle open. So in this case, I'm just vigorously shaking it to try, because it's a large leech, so it's got a big suction on one end. There's also another big suction on the other end, but she only sucks through one end. So what we want to do is get it unstuck from the bottle, and because I can't get that done, I will actually have to cut the bottle. All right, but you know how to do that. You'll just get the scissors, you'll cut straight through the bottle, and then what you want to do is take the leech. You can take it either with your fingers, okay, just like this, and be careful because they do, you see how it gets stuck immediately on my finger? But just keep moving it around, okay? Just keep moving it so it doesn't get stuck and it doesn't start sucking blood from your hands, okay? And then just transfer it into your leech jar. Now, the leech jar, what needs to happen when you transfer the leech is you can either use a plastic container or a glass container. It doesn't really matter, as long as the water is cold and the water is clean and it's not filled up all the way to the top. You also don't want to have too little water. So once the leeches that arrived in the mail are in with the gel in the jar, you want to dump out the gel and the water and just fill up fresh water from the tap. Or you can use rainwater, or you can use like river water, lake water, anything. Tap water is just fine. So right now what's happening with my leeches, do you see how there's swimming skins in the jar? Okay, so those skins, what's happening is they shed their skins. And when they shed their skins, you want to immediately get rid of those skins because that's what's killing the leeches. And when you don't dispose of the skins timely, then your leeches will start dying. So the way you do that is just unscrew the top and dump out the water with the skins. Then pour in fresh water, then just shake the jar vigorously to get more skins to fall off, and then pour it out again, fill it up again, shake again. And you do that repeatedly several times until the water is completely clear and there are no more skins floating inside that water. Then your leeches are ready to sit there for about the next week or so without you having to change their water again. So one change lasts about a week maybe 10 days. It depends. Depends on how many leeches you've got in the jar, and it depends on how, like, the conditions, how cold it is. They love cold, so keep them in the cold. Make sure to keep them also away from direct sunlight, because direct sunlight, they hate it. They don't like it. They can't properly chill out and relax in direct sunlight. Now, another thing to keep in mind with leeches is keep them cold. I've already mentioned that, but it's very important. Don't keep them in a warm place. Keep them by the window maybe. If your window is cracked open, then you can put them on the floor under the window that's cracked open. So all the cold air and the freshness will come in, and they're also under the window, so they're not in the direct sunlight. Now, you also don't want to keep them away from sunlight altogether. For example, in a dark hallway or in a bathroom, or even in the fridge. Some people keep them in the fridge. I don't agree with that. I'm against that 100%. Don't keep your leeches in the fridge, because there's absolutely no light coming in there. So your leeches are not going to be happy, and they're not going to survive for a long time. The survival rate with my leeches is almost 100%. So I don't lose any leeches in the process of caring for them and keeping them. So you want to achieve the same thing. And the two main points are: get rid of your leech skins as often as you possibly can. Don't fill up the jar too much with water, because they don't get any air. And keep them in the cold and away from direct sunlight. So those are the main points. Now, keep in mind, when you get your leeches in the jar, they don't always survive the journey. So what you want to do is, if they are dead, just contact your supplier, show them a picture. If they're dead, show them a picture, they'll send you new ones. But usually if they travel about a week or 10 days, they will arrive alive. Now, also, another very useful tool is these tongs. Now, I call them leech handlers, and they're very, very useful. They're extremely useful when you are actually handling leeches and you don't want to handle them with your hands. Sometimes you can't, because they are so sticky. They've got the two suctions on both ends. So the way this works is, you see the tongs have like round ends. So then you just grab the leech and it just pulls right out. You see? Very cool, huh? So now I can transfer it right into my jar. Easy. Also, always make sure you are not suffocating the leeches by tightening this lid on top of them. So make sure they're away from the neck of the jar when you tighten the jar lid. All right, now you don't need any holes on top of your jar. The reason you don't need any holes is because they have enough air in here to survive the full week. And that's the week that you're going to leave them in there while they shed their skins. And when you actually change the water after a week, they'll get new fresh air, so you don't have to worry about that. When they do arrive in this bottle though, they will have air in there as well, sufficient air. But there's also holes on the bottles, so this allows the bottle to breathe. Even when it's got the cap on, you can still squeeze the bottle and it does breathe, so it does give them enough oxygen to survive the journey. Okay, and if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to put them below. And if you want to see more videos, if you subscribe, they will come automatically on your email, in your email box, as well as they'll pop up anytime you open up YouTube. So you might want to subscribe if you want to see more videos and more instructions. And if you have any questions, I will answer them. So I'm making this channel totally interactive. Anything you want to ask, there are no stupid questions. I love all the questions, so go ahead and feel free to ask. I love you. Bye.